Welcome back, and if you're new here, my name is Sylvia and I make videos on planning with the occasional review. Today's video is going to be my part 2 of my planning slash journaling setup for 2021. I did not plan to film this today, so we're going to see how this goes. This is just the time I have. I've just been crazy busy. I think everyone is. You can see here how cold it is in here. Oh, it was doing it earlier. You can see my fingerprints. But I tried to warm up the room a little bit, and I was like, I've got to make this video. So I have 3 Hobonichis for 2021. And you saw an in-depth flip through of how my setup is in my Hobonichi weeks, which is also my wallet. So these are my other 2 Hobonichis, and I have my A5 Cousin Hobonichi in here, and then my day free Hobonichi in here. So these are of course both A5 covers, pretty inexpensive covers. This one is a faux leather, where this one says that it is real leather, but it's probably not like a very high quality leather. It's still so nice. I love it, but they're pretty inexpensive. You can find them on Amazon, also on AliExpress, if you know how to maneuver that website. It's a little difficult to find things for me, unless I have a link. I mean, I really just don't find things that well. I guess I'm not that dedicated. Anyway, so which one should we start with? Let's go ahead and start with this one. Okay, so this is my Kokuyo Systemic cover. You might have heard the name Kokuyo before. They have a lot of different products, including like tape runners, but also most dear and near to my heart is the Jibun Tacho planner, which is a very either monochrome, or you can get the more colorful version, which I didn't get this year. I know, and they did come out with day free. This is not about them. Okay. Back on track. So the Kokuyo cover, the Systemic, is really cool and very inexpensive, like I mentioned. It does have a pocket in the front as well as in the back. It doesn't wrap completely around. I mean, technically it does, but it's sewn, so it's not like you can just fit things down the center. So they are 2 separate pockets. It has an elastic closure, so if you're used to the Leuchtturm or the Moleskine, you'll be used to this. And I love this because it can fit a lot in here. I have a beast of a planner in here for 2021. I learned right away as soon as I got this that, I don't know, it might have been a mistake to get a Hobonichi Cousin instead of the A5. So for those of you who are new to the Hobonichi, you'll have to excuse my deep breaths, but I'm still having asthma. They do have an A5 version, which has 6 months in one book and 6 in the other. That's probably what I should have went with, because I was hoping to pair this with my day free, which you can see is right here. It's much thinner of a notebook than, of course, the whole Hobonichi that houses a full year. So one of the reasons why I went with this cover is that I already owned it. It's black, and you know how I feel about black. It's just that beautiful little black dress. It goes with everything. But also because I couldn't fit this in a few of my other covers that are very skinny mini. It fit in here, but it was a little bit like it barely like clasped. Whereas this one, I have 2, which equal probably the size of this one. And it clasps okay. It's just, there's nothing else you can really fit in there. Whereas I could stuff a little bit more with this stretchy closure. Whereas this one, I'd have to leave, you know, unclasped, unbuckled, whatevs. So I put it in here. Now I'll open this up. This is a gorgeous cover because it has all of these like little snazzy compartments. So this is like a hidden compartment underneath the book where you can put another cover for a notebook, or just, you know, keep important papers. It has 1, 2, 3 card slots here. And then when you close this back, this is hooked on. Let me show you. And I have a whole review if you want to know more about the anatomy of this cover. It's just slipped into this plastic part of the cover. And then on this side, there's more plastic where you can slip in another cover. I just have a few bits that I am currently going to be using. So this is in here, so I remember that what the company is called. So it's Espresso Co. I always mess up that name. And yeah, so I keep that in here so I remember. And this is just fun. So it can definitely mark what day I'm on or anything else that I need. These are some Post-its that I put in my printer and put little images on. And it's on this board from Jet Pens. So if you don't care for the writing boards that Hobonichi has because they're very interesting color schemes, you can get something that's a little bit more plain like this. I also have a clear one that I think is in my other planner that you'll see in a moment that I got from Jet Pens. And then this is something a lot of people have been telling me about, which I think is going to be a lifesaver, so thank you. This is just blotting paper. Since I do have the Hobonichi, and the Hobonichi has that Tomoe river paper, which is Bible thin, and the ink tends to sit on top and take a while to dry depending on what kind you use, especially gel pens, I thought I would have a blotting paper because as a writer, I tend to write quickly and just need to get the words down. I can go ahead and turn the page and write on the back side. So yeah, that is all I'm keeping in here. So this cover, again, is by Espresso. I will link it down below. And it's this fun stars. Now, this I was really worried about because I'm not this kind of cool anymore. I'm very monochrome. I like for things to be just black, black and white, gray. No real color here or there. And this was just like shiny and colorful. And I thought, well, I'm going to make this my reading journal, and it's not that serious. I don't work out of my house. I'm a writer, so I tend to, not have to go to business meetings. I wouldn't suggest this obviously for a business meeting, but I think it's so fun and I wanted it to be fun. And I think it's really a really nice cover. It really doesn't need to be inside another cover, but because I had this, I thought I would try it out. So this is that jelly cover that has 3 pockets. I did a review on this. There's another pocket here if you needed to shove some stuff in there. And then in the back, unfortunately, I can't use the pocket that it comes with because it's slid into this plastic. But if I needed to, because it's open, I could shove some things in here. In this little like secretarial pocket if I need to. It's like a half secretarial pocket. On the inside, these are just these rub-on stickers. Rub-on stickers. They're called print-on stickers. Good Lord. Anyway, they come with 2 sheets. That is the company that makes them, and I buy mine from Cute Things from Japan. So I will link them down below. And again, this was like fun, and I always buy these every time I see them because they're not very expensive. I'll just throw a couple into my cart wherever I see them, and then I take them home and I don't use them. So I've had a ton of these for like a year now, and I was like, I'm gonna use them in here because these are fun and colorful, and this is fun and colorful, and I like it. So I thought I would write a quote over the top of this, or maybe I would type one out later. I just haven't got around to it. I can also stamp around the edge if I'd like. On the inside, these were also stickers that I think I ended up getting from Hobby Lobby. I bought them because I loved the fact that they had all different skin tones all in one set. I thought that was awesome. So this is going to be my reading journal, maybe. And I thought, well, maybe it could be my writing journal. I have a week and a half to decide. So I put all of these girls in here, and then I gave them each like a title since, it's about writing and reading. So we have like librarian and mother and believer and dreamer, lover, all of that. So that's what I did here. And it allowed me to use them because they were just sitting in a drawer. This was a hot mess, which I enjoyed. This was my first attempt of trying to foil, and I don't think that my laminator, because it's like 100 years old, y'all, is hot enough, and it didn't stick. And it stuck, for the most part, but then in some places it didn't. My acetate that I had like bubbled up because it got so hot. And I was like, concerned, but I think this happened in my laser printer before I actually foiled it, because I just got a new laser printer. So it might be the foil, it might be the acetate I used. It could be a combination of things, but I put it in here because it's still beautiful and it almost worked. I still need to figure it out. Any tips would be helpful. I need to watch some more videos. So I just taped it to this. It's too short to come to this edge here because I was going to put it in my Moleskine. I thought I was going to use a Moleskine. If you know anything about Moleskine, they are A5 in height, but the width is more narrow. And then I decided not to go with that, so I put it in here anyway. Then we have this area, which is still a sore subject. I ordered a sticker kit from a seller in Europe. It's been 2 months. It still hasn't come. At this point, I don't think it's ever going to come. I'm trying to be patient and remind myself that, you know, we're still in a pandemic and it's Christmas time. I ordered it in October, so I obviously didn't think it was going to be trying to make it across, you know, the country during Christmas, but apparently that's what's happening. So I don't know. If it doesn't come in, I'm going to change it. I covered this with a piece of vellum that I got, I don't even remember from where, but I love it. And so I put it in here just to cover 2020 a little bit because I hated that year, which is still this year. And I don't really need to refer to it for anything. All right, so part of the reason why I'm showing this a little bit later and I did my 2021 setup in parts is due to the fact that this really doesn't start until January. You'll see here that the first month that you can use this portion, I think they call it the yearly, is in January. And then the next part you can use in 2020 because we're currently in December, but you can't use anything else. Even the dailies start January 1st, right here. And then this part, I think you get the last couple of days in the weeklies of December. So for me, I was just like, it's not worth my time to try to use this early. Here's the first 1, 2, 3, 4 days of December you get to use in here. 4, that looked like 5, sorry. And so I think I'm going to go back and put some washi tape samples or doodle or something in here for this month. It's not that serious for me. So how am I planning on using this for a reading or writing journal? I thought if I did this as a writing journal, I would break it into portions. So I would go ahead and put down what I did every day here. If I have any major like hard or soft due dates on the monthly, and then on the weekly, I could put down what time I wrote and a little snippet about what I actually wrote that day. It doesn't take a lot of space. I could literally write it in here. It probably wouldn't even take up this whole column, but I'm thinking about possibly doing that here. And I know that this is hard sometimes for people to adapt to layouts. I don't allow layouts to tell me what to do as a planner. I tell the layouts what to do. So I might break this into columns for my writing. So this is still up for debate for another week and a half. And then the daily portion, because I don't write a ton of physical notes, anything that I change, I usually change within that Word document that I'm writing in, or I just, you know, I make notes digitally. So I thought on the dailies, I would keep track of my reading. I'm trying to do something different for 2021. So I am a hoarder. I know you think that that's obviously true because I'm a planner person. If you watch my channel, I buy a lot of crap. But honestly, other than planning and, you know, stationery, I'm pretty minimalistic in everything else. However, my boyfriend is very much a hoarder when it comes to like magazines and stuff. He has like this weird thing where he doesn't care. He'll just get subscriptions to magazines, and they'll even be women magazines because he buys them for me. And I'm like, I don't read any of this stuff. But I do have one subscription to the New Yorker, which I do like, the Wall Street Journal, which I don't mind reading, and there's Time Magazine, and one more other thing I can't remember off the top of my head that I have. Anyway, so I would like to read those. I'd like to take, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes out of my day, or maybe just schedule a certain day just for the New Yorker, like Mondays, and decide to read it for 20 minutes or 30 minutes and get through them because I've collected them. And it's like, I'd like to read them and get rid of them, donate them or something, but I don't know. I'm starting to act like Jay, and I'm just like, I can't get rid of them. I have to keep them all. So there's this like huge corner of my office that's dedicated to the Wall Street Journal, mostly because those suckers are big. I'm just like, one day this pile is going to be taller than me and I am going to be buried under it. That's where I am right now. But I thought that this, just one single page, is enough for me to make a couple of notes about what I have read. And if there's anything that I read that I really like and I want to kind of elaborate on, maybe something, because there's a lot of different topics, certainly that you'll find, especially in newspaper. And I'm like, I don't really know much about that. I can write it down here and make a note so that I can, take that information and put it in something else. Because again, this is just a daily sort of reading journal. I did have a daily Moleskine, and there's something about a daily that I don't know. I feel like I can always do it. And I did it for a decent amount of the year in that tiny pocket Moleskine. I don't have it near me right now, but it's like film note size. And I did like it. Eventually it turned into notes. So I do have a few pages here marked. I didn't know what to do with this section, but I saw some videos where people have turned this into an index or a vision board. So I wrote those down. Right here, I wasn't sure what to do with this. I thought I could put a list of books that I wanted to get through for the month, like my my TBR right here, so that I could always keep them in my mind's eye. That's something I'm thinking about doing there. And then over here in the back, you get these pages. I don't know, I think there might be 6. Yeah. I thought maybe I could put the index here because there's only 2 pages at the beginning. Or this could just be for notes. And I thought maybe I would put my list of books that I wanted to read for the year, but also I have that list somewhere else. And I think it would be better off there. So I have these pages free, but I'm not sure what to do. So I'm interested in what you guys do with these things if you're not using it for a planner, because I'm sure you could put lists there for something. The timetable I marked, I thought it would be really cool because I think I did fill out the other one. I'll show you. Again, on Mondays, maybe that's the day I do Wall Street Journal. Tuesdays, maybe that's when I do the New Yorker, just to take some time for other reading besides books. Because as an active reader and a writer, I don't read, I don't think like most people do. Like it's really hard for me to measure what I read in a year because a lot of times I'll read a chapter, like the first chapter of 6 books, just to see. I did that the other day, not the other day, like a couple months ago. I was finishing up a dystopian fiction. So I went to the library, I got 6 dystopian fictions and I read the first chapter just to kind of see how they set it up. And you kind of can't measure that because it's not like a whole book, but I did do reading. So I thought maybe something like that. Do you guys have things that you want to read? Maybe it is the newspaper or just like, I have a lot of short fiction, which I love, that I'd like to get through. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't know that I want to track my reading in a graph, but that's there if I wanted to. And then this is not very big. Like I'm hoping to read a lot more than this, this year. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 12 in total. I thought I could put books here. Maybe my 12 top books of the year. I'm not sure. This one, I know better than to think that I'm going to be reading 100 books. Even if I got through 100 books, that would be amazing and I wouldn't do it every year. So I thought maybe words that I have read from books or magazines, newspapers that I really liked and I wanted to use in my writing, because sometimes there's a lot of beautiful words I forget about. And it's not just like words, sometimes it's phrases. So for instance, there was somebody who wrote in a book about a woman who came out of the rain and her hair was inked. It looked like ink was running. I thought thought, wow, that's really a beautiful vision. So stuff like that. Sometimes it's like sit, like people are always saying she sat down or she's sitting. I like the word perched. She perched. So stuff like that. And these back pages here, they all have this Japanese writing on it that I cannot read. I do know that there is an app, I think it might just be Google Chrome, that you can go ahead and translate this. I'm not that interested. So I went ahead and I covered them with old pages I didn't use for my old Hobonichi. And I just like left this one because I was like, it can be a pen testing page and it's not that serious. Then we have gifts here. So I took the other gifts page from my other Hobonichi so I could have two. And I'm not sure. I thought maybe I could do like small little gifts where I just do mail. I'm a really bad pen pal, y'all. I know as a writer, you'd think I'd be really great at that, but it's just like another task I don't want to do. I love people. I enjoy getting letters from people. I'm pretty like lazy about it. So I thought maybe I would try to send out just a couple sporadic, hi, hello, you don't have to write me back, and here's some, little bits of ephemera that I have you might like. I thought that would be fun. I don't know that I'll get to it, but we'll see how it goes. And then again, it's just more covering. And I just used, what's it called? A tape runner. On the back here, I didn't have any more of that lovely Simply Gilded, so I just used old washi tape I kind of wanted to get rid of that kind of matched these tabs. Oh, I should mention these tabs are from, who are you from? Travelers Company. They have a kit every year. So this is from this year's kit. And I love these little tabs. And these ones are from Planner Press. Yes. And I love them too. These are the same ones that are on my Hobonichi Weeks. I think I did mention that they do come, I think, in a couple different sizes. These are the smallest ones. And that is going to be possibly my reading/writing journal, split into 3 sections. And the pen I'm using on here is the Frixion Point Knock in the 0.4. These are the newest ones. I think they came out maybe the last year, and they just look a little bit more fancy. They have more metal on them for sure. Yeah, and I like them because if you mess up, you can erase, and these don't take that much time to dry. The 0.5 does, and I prefer to use the 0.38, but this one's working okay so far. So that is the first one. So let me know how you're using your A5 Cousin or your A5 Day Free, and if you're using it in a similar way, or if you've ever used it the way I have suggested. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.